Picture it, ladies and gentlemen. You've been playing up to this time, up to this moment to fight the boss for months, maybe weeks, maybe years. And it's in this moment, it's this battle that is so detrimental to your campaign. And it's not going well. Everybody's rolling like hot garbage. You've got a couple people that are doing exceptionally well. The rest of you are just... A few people have locked their dice up in jail because they're just not behaving. And everybody, you got people cursing at their dice. It is what it is. It's just a normal Saturday night, right? What if I told you that there was a way you could actually potentially reset the energy of your dice, of your game room, wherever it is that you play, whether it's family game night, video games, or board games, tabletop, RPG. So I originally did this centered around dice, and that is going to be where my focus is. There is a smudge or like a simmer pot at the end of the video. I will chapter it out, that you can just skip right to if you so decide. That is good for rooms or for items. So I just wanted to let you know. Also, I will 100% admit that I know most of this stuff is luck, it's chance, and to some degree it is also skill. I fully understand that. I know that. I'm not. So, will any of this work? Theoretically, yes. Theoretically, you should be able to reset the energy of the dice. I will do a separate video, maybe a short, on cards. But you should be able to reset the energy of your dice, and you should be able to reset the energy of your room, boosting it to bring you good luck. And that's what we're going over today. And so we are going to start with dice. And there's two reasons why you're going to cleanse your dice. One of them is they're brand new. Why would I need to cleanse them if they're brand new? Well, if any of you, some of you might know this, some of you might not. The gaming community is pretty broad. So if you work with tarot cards and oracle cards, you know that if you get them brand new, you have to clean them. Why? Because they've picked up everyone else's energy. From the time they were produced to the time you get them in your hot little hands, they've either been touched by multiple people, they've been surrounded by different people's energy, and you just need to clear them off, and it's just a baseline. The other reason you want to clear them is if they're ones you're using every night, or not every night, every time you play. Maybe you switch it up, but there's always a favorite set or the set that never fails. If you theme your dice, then maybe you've been playing a specific character for a while and you've noticed sometimes they roll okay, sometimes they roll meh. So, I've heard people say, oh, the dice just gotta get warmed up. The dice gotta get warmed up. All right, cool. So that's another reason, because here's the deal. Depending on where you keep them, especially if you're a teenager or you're a college student, your dice probably live in your bedroom. And your energy permeates where you live, where you work. If you're playing online with your friends, so you're all spread out all over the country or whatever, and your dice or your gaming materials, your headphones or whatever, are in your office, if you also work from home or someone else does, they're just picking up everything else. And then if you are actually in person, say maybe somebody's got to borrow your dice. Maybe someone at the table is having a bad day. Maybe you were having a bad day. Maybe someone's having a fantastic day. One week you're having a fantastic day. Another week it's just been absolute nightmare. Your dice are picking up on all of that. There is a little bit of a kind of a grading scale here, because theoretically the reason why this should work is it should work best on dice made out of semi-precious stones. Amethyst, howlite, bloodstone, jasper, turquoise, anything that you could think of. Next, underneath that will be metal, wood, and bone. Please don't wash your metal dice. Please be careful with your wooden dice and bone dice. I don't really know how they're going to react. They're not materials I generally work with, but for this case, we're going to go over a few things that will work. Then at the kind of the bottom toward the end of that, you have glass, plastic, and resin. These three probably don't need to be cleaned if they're brand new dice. You will want to just give them a little refresh if they're your regular everyday dice. So what do you do? Well, okay. First, let's start with the most obvious. Please hold. Most obvious is just going to be water. So if you have brand new dice that you want to clean, you can plop them in a bowl and you can stick them in the sun. You can run them simply under running water and just ask for the intention that any energy that doesn't belong to them be washed away. You're kind of resetting them and recalibrating them to your energy, and then that's it. If they are dice that you use regularly, I would add soap. Why? Well, you're eating. People are drinking. You're eating food. You've got snacks. Stuff spills on the table. Maybe someone's brought chocolate. They're dirty. So just for sanitary reasons, wash them in soap and water, and you're good. And that way they will be energetically clean, but also sanitarily clean. Again, don't wash your metal dice. And I would say just very gentle water. Luke, I don't want to say room temperature. Make sure it's warm water, but not like super, super hot. Because basically, I don't want you to ruin them. I just want you to clean them, but I don't want them ruined. I don't want paint coming off. I don't want numbers coming off. Just enough that they are clean, and they will feel different. They will 100% feel lighter. They'll feel refreshed. They will feel different. If you want to just use a simple bowl of water, just plunk them in there. I got mine here. So I am DMing my first D&D session this next weekend. Hopefully I'll get a video out because this will hopefully be out this weekend. But I will do this with my own dice. You're just going to take 1 or 2 dice, plunk them in, and then put it in the sun. And then if you have gemstone dice, you can try this with any other dice. Leave it out under the moonlight. If it is the waxing moon, meaning we are going from a new moon to a full moon, that is drawing in energy. So then you want to set the intention that you are drawing in luck and prosperity. That's it. One thing I will note is do not put these in direct sunlight. I don't care what kind of dice you have. Do not put them in direct sunlight. Why? Because, well, first of all, wood will dry out. Plastic and resin get a little funny in sunlight, and metal will get super hot. Also, depending on the type of stone that your crystal dice are made out of, they can potentially fade. The color can wash out, the sun might bleach them. Please don't do that. Indirect sunlight, and they will still get clean. That's one option. The next option, you can also, if you want, throw a little salt in here. Because these are playing dice, I would not recommend it. I would generally do that with crystals. If you want to do it and you know it's going to be safe, go for it. It is an option, but just be careful. You just need a pinch, not a lot. Now, if you know that you don't have little hands and little furry friends that things will wander off, you can use a plant. Earth is great for absorbing negative energy and transmuting it. So if you have a house plant, just take your dice, bloop, bloop. There you go. And it will just sit there and they will reset. That's all it is. You just let them sit for a while. Maybe, I would say 24 to 48 hours to do any of these. Again, be mindful. Indirect sunlight, and you should be good. Also, make sure you dry them very well. If you need to rinse them off after they've been in the earth, fine. Just do make sure that they're very well dry. That's why I don't know if I would recommend washing wooden dice either. I'm a little concerned. If you do, make sure you have a way to reseal them. Like maybe a linseed oil, a mineral oil, beeswax. Make sure you treat them well. because I'm just afraid I don't want anything to happen to them and to the wood. This should be okay for wood. This should be fine. The earth and the wood. Because wood, the way I work with it is, wood is part of earth, so it naturally absorbs negative energy because it's part of nature. So I think putting the wood in like potted plants and whatnot should be fine. Now, what most people probably thought of when they saw this video is fire and smoke and air and smudge. So if you put these in the sun is actually the fire element. You can mix fire and water, fire and earth for the plants, or you can just plunk them on maybe a windowsill or on a table. Again, in direct sunlight. Don't leave them in the sun. But the other thing would be smudging. Now, in good faith and good conscience, I cannot recommend that you use something like sage or Palo Santo wood or sweetgrass. Those are sacred herbs meant for cleansing negativity out of a space. And it's fine if you are cleansing your house, you're cleansing a room, and obviously your dice or whatever, your gaming consoles, your board games are in the room and they are getting smudged in the process. Like you're just going through and you're giving everything a good smudge down. That's different. You are not actively seeking out a way to smudge them deliberately to then clean them of any negative energy. So I would recommend using, and that's why I pulled this book out. I will leave this book in the comments because this actually helped me put this video together. It's the Encyclopedia of Magical Ingredients. So this is solely for luck. This is not abundance. This is not luck. Maybe luck and abundance. Basically, this isn't for money. This is just for luck. This is to up your luck stat in life. Where is it? So I'm going to take a picture of this page. And I will read off. Oh, I had other stones for you. Because I wasn't sure about the ones that were listed. I know sunstone and jade were, well, we'll get there. Okay. So, other types of incense that you can use. So you can get cones, you can get sticks, you can get resins to burn, would be, or you can find bamboo, bay, like bay leaves, camphor, which is kind of like Vicks, like stuff you'd find in like Vicks. It's camphor oil. I don't know if I'd burn that, but you might be able to put that in a spray and make a liquid smudge to smudge your stuff. Cinnamon is a big one. It will come up again. Clover, I don't know. Oh, maybe you can pick the clover, dry it, and then use that as a smudge. Daffodil, same deal. You could either use those as a smudge or plant them, and if you want, put the dice, if you like, they're generally not to a plant though. I was gonna say, if you want, put your dice with the daffodils. If you have some inside, you might be able to do that. Hickory is another one that you might be able to find. I'm like Irish moss. I have seen moss scented incense. You might have to hunt for it, but I have seen it on Amazon. Nutmeg, orange. Sorry, I'm reading through this. Saffron, sandalwood. Oh, sweetgrass. You can use sweetgrass for luck. All right, I am very reluctant on that one. Same thing with tobacco, because tobacco is another sacred herb to the Native Americans, and I know that's generally used as offerings, because I've used it in shamanism in my shamanic practices as an offering. But if it fits your culture, then maybe. I also know tobacco is used a lot in voodoo and vodun for different loa. So, do with that one as you will. I mean, you can 100% use sweetgrass and tobacco. It doesn't matter. I feel a little funny suggesting it, but it's in the book. So, you know. I don't know how many of you remember the Garfield episode where he's like making fun of stuff, and he's like, you never meet anybody from Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not a real place. It's not real. And it's like, because you see it on TV, it must be true. So part of me was like, well, if it's in the book, it must be true. Let's see, turquoise umbrella waffle. I have never seen watermelon incense. Yerba Buena, Yerba Santa, Lang Lang. That one you could use. That's another, that you might be able to find that as an incense. And then, so this is for gambler's luck, general luck, and positive energy. Those are the other things on the list. Acorn, agate, angelica. Angelica is a root. It's not a root. I believe it's I know it's an herb. Just not sure if it's a wildflower herb or if you can buy seeds for it to cultivate it, but it is an herb. Bamboo, bay, as in bay leaves. Beans, doesn't specify what kind. Beech, bluestone, borage, which is a type of grain. It's an old grain, I believe. Buckeye, camphor, cinnamon, clover, coins, cotton, daffodil, elephant. A note for the elephant. You want the elephant with its trunk up, not down. Up means it's spraying luck to you. I've seen, because I know my mother, I have a number of family members that collect elephants, not just my mother. And yeah, usually the trunk has to be pointing upwards. Some people might say it doesn't matter. I was always told that it should be pointing up. Feather. Grains of paradise. Not 100% sure what that looks like. Hand. Henna. Hickory. Holly. Horseshoe. Horsetail. The horseshoe is an interesting one because I've heard different explanations. I've heard if you keep it upright, it keeps the luck trapped in the house. And if you put it upside down, the luck spills out onto the people and kind of blesses the people walking in. So I've heard two different explanations for horseshoe. Horsetail, I believe, is a plant. I don't know if it's a weed or if it's something you can cultivate. Huckleberry, Indian head, Irish moss, ivy, jalap, jasper, which is a stone, couscous. I don't know why apparently I've never seen that spelled out before. I will put a copy of this up for you so you can read it. Lucky hand, magnet, mercury, mojo beans, moonstone, nutmeg, nuts, doesn't specify, oak moss, opal, orange, paella, parchment, pennies, pins, pizza. Gamer, everyone in the world unite. Pizza's a lucky thing. I think we can all agree that it is delicious. Roots, rue. Rue is definitely an herb. Please be careful if you handle that, especially if you're pregnant, because it is, yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. Just be very careful if you're handling that, or I don't think you can, well, you can ingest it for reasons that I probably cannot say. We're just going to leave that alone. Rum, saffron, sandalwood, sausage, seahorse, seaweed, snake root, stone, generic, straw, grain, sweetgrass, tinfoil. Play your game in a tinfoil hat. That'll be. Give everybody something to talk about. Tobacco, tonka, turkey, turquoise, umbrella, waffle, watermelon, yerba buena, yerba santa, and lang lang. So, I will also add Sunstone and jade are also crystals you can use for luck. You can wear them, you can put them around. Now, because of this book, I kind of looked through it and I was able to, in my head, put together a kind of simmer pot. If you've seen the Italian kitchen cleanse, it's kind of that idea. It's something you can cook on the stove, make the house smell all nice, and then you can put it into spray bottles and spray it around your area. So that way, if you're not working with the dice specifically, or if you're not playing a tabletop role-playing game, you can use it for your family game night. You can use it for your gaming console, around the gaming console. You can even spray your dice down with it if you really want to. You can use it if someone's got an exam coming up and you want to make them, feel a little bit better. You can spray it in their bedroom the night before they take a test. So in that respect, because it's a liquid smudge and because it can be bottled, you can really use it whenever you feel like you need a little boost of luck. It is your own, what's the Harry Potter, Felix Felicis. Yeah. It's your very own Felix Felicis. Yeah. Somewhere my Latin teacher is crying, because I think I completely screwed that up. But you get the idea. So if you want to make like a simmer pot, I would say you could take bay leaf, cinnamon, nutmeg. I think it was just those 4, because they are the things that everyone has around the house. They're common, they're easy to get a hold of, and you can put them in a pot, cook them for however. Oh, and orange. You could add in that was the other thing, orange. So it's cinnamon, orange, nutmeg, and bay leaf. And you can put those together in a pot, let it cook, and then just bottle it. The only thing that makes me a little reluctant is the nutmeg, because I don't know how much whole nutmegs cost. Like, you can get like a little bottle. And my general concern is, if they're very expensive, is there a way to safely crack them in half? Because generally when you get them, you buy the bottle, and then you get like the little microplane, and most people use nutmeg in its powdered form. So can you use cinnamon and nutmeg in their powdered forms in this? If you have cheesecloth handy, yes. It's a very reluctant yes. If you don't, no. I say this from experience with something else. If you use any kind of powdered herb and don't find a way to strain it out, it will clog whatever spray bottle you use. If you can't find whole nutmeg, or you cannot justify putting one in something like this because it's just too expensive, just cut it out. Use the cinnamon, the orange, and the bay leaf, and you should be fine. You can also, if you want, substitute maybe some of the other stuff in here. It doesn't say what type of bean, which is just as beans. Saffron, but saffron's expensive. Like, that is pricey. It is an acknowledged, I'm like, seaweed maybe? And I don't know. I'm like looking through trying to see if there's anything. I think you're better off with just taking the nutmeg out and using just the cinnamon, the bay leaf, and the orange. You want to futz around and see whatever else you can come up with, or like if you look up other books. I basically stuck with this book because it's very hard to look up like luck. Even if you look, different smudges do different things. So I was trying to find like what herbs bring luck, and a lot of them are generally, especially if you put in smudges, it automatically reverts to getting rid of negative energy, which this will do. But you want to replace it with luck. So you want that to, see what I'm saying? Like for example, lemon balm. Lemon balm you can use to work with the ancestors. So you can make a smudge of lemon balm and then use it in any kind of ancestral work you might be doing. I think rosemary, I think, is for abundance, like monetary abundance. So you can use that. You could use like rosemary oil or rosemary in your smudge, make a smudge stick of rosemary. So different herbs will give you different results. This is basically what it comes down to. So I wish you good luck and happy gaming, and hopefully this will work for you. Like, yeah, I kind of came up with this on watching a D&D channel, and was just through a very series of episodes, was watching people like put their dice in dice jail. Was watching people just swear angrily as their dice did not give them the results they wanted, and was like, is there a way that we could, make it better? And that's how this came out. And it's, it might work for you. It might not. I'll admit it. It's worth it just to see how it all works out. 14. Not bad. Not terrible. All right, my friends, until we meet again, take care. Bye. Happy gaming.